Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a massive, largely unpriced risk. What happens when a foreign government can suddenly just pull the plug on your global cloud infrastructure? It's a huge vulnerability sitting right at the intersection of technology, law, and international relations.
We all kind of naturally assume the cloud is neutral, right? Like flipping a light switch, essentially infinitely reliable. But the shocking reality is that geopolitical conflicts can instantly sever an organization's digital lifeline. Think about it. What actually happens when the foundational software you rely on every single second is legally mandated to just turn off? And look, this isn't just theoretical. The kill switch is a documented, historical reality. We've seen Adobe completely cut off users in Venezuela entirely due to a U.S. executive order. We've seen Maxar shut off critical satellite imagery for Ukraine amid peace deal pressures. So yeah, it definitely happens.
Here is our agenda for today. We'll cover the hidden cloud kill switch, how geopolitics enters the server room, the financial stakeholder exposure, the vendor lock-in trap, and finally, taking back digital control.
All right, part one, the hidden cloud kill switch and our systemic dependencies. This number is absolutely staggering. U.S. hyperscaler firms hold close to an 80% share of the European cloud market. We are talking about a massive centralized dependency here, where the vast majority of critical data and operational software is hosted by companies legally bound to a single foreign jurisdiction. To put that in perspective, out of 28 European countries studied, an alarming 23 have national security and defense systems heavily reliant on U.S. tech providers. When defense agencies are this dependent on external providers, the cloud isn't just an IT procurement issue anymore. It's a fundamental matter of national resilience.
Moving on to part two, geopolitics enters the server room, focusing on the legal reality.
So the crucial point here is this concept of jurisdictional dependency. Basically, it means data localization doesn't save you. If your provider is U.S. headquartered, they literally must comply with U.S. legal mandates, like the Cloud Act or OFAC sanctions, no matter where your data physically lives. Even if your server is sitting right there in Paris or Berlin, the ultimate legal control is in Washington. These past few years show a clear escalating trend where public clouds are weaponized as geopolitical levers. A really striking example from 2024, Microsoft allegedly had to cancel the email of International Criminal Court prosecutor Karim Khan after he was targeted by U.S. sanctions. This kind of thing directly impacts judges, military forces, and everyday businesses alike. Because when operations can be disabled overnight by foreign policy decisions rather than actual technical failures, the cloud stops being mere infrastructure. It becomes a major risk vector. Geopolitical risk is now baked right into the operational risk. Part 3. Financial stakeholder exposure and its cascading impacts. Now, IT departments might feel pretty safe pitching a technical air gap to their board, arguing that data is managed by local staff. But the legal reality remains totally unchanged. The vendor is still bound by foreign laws. For lenders providing capital and insurers underwriting business interruption policies, this is a big deal. It leaves them entirely exposed to sudden, unmitigated continuity failures that absolutely no firewall can stop. An overnight kill switch triggers a devastating domino effect. We're talking about the instant loss of core SaaS operations, which immediately violates strict regulations like the European Banking Authority guidelines and DORA compliance. This creates massive financial losses and default risks that insurers and investors simply cannot price accurately. And ultimately, that leads to severe drops in company valuation. When we look at downstream impacts in critical sectors like energy, it shows how an outage ripples across the entire value chain. Now imagine adding the massive cost of an emergency IT overhaul to that chaos. One e-commerce firm cited in the sources actually faced a £400,000 recovery bill when their core SaaS vanished overnight. For insurers, that is a literal nightmare scenario. Part 4, the vendor lock-in trap, or why companies are trapped by data gravity. You might be wondering, why can't they just switch providers when tensions rise? Well, they can't. Organizations are trapped by data gravity and incredibly high fees just to move their own data. They're tangled up in deeply integrated proprietary formats, owners' long-term contracts, and a genuine lack of cost-competitive local alternatives. Migrating systems during an active crisis is functionally impossible. To try and appease these concerns, major hyperscalers offer localized clouds. But industry experts call this sovereignty washing. Why? Because while the servers are indeed local and maintained by local staff, the legal accountability and ultimate ownership still firmly remain outside the EU. So, yep, the kill switch is still completely active.
And the scale of this trap is just immense. Over in Germany, a full 67% of companies state they flat out cannot operate without US cloud providers. This dependency creates a strategic supply risk that's basically identical to relying on foreign energy, leaving the majority of the EU's largest economy completely vulnerable to external geopolitical whims.
Finally, Part 5, taking back digital control and mitigating this systemic risk.
So, what can we actually do? Well, first, you absolutely must rigorously map out those hidden dependencies. Second, build a hybrid or multi-cloud architecture so you have actual operational options. And third, and this is crucial for satisfying regulators and insurers, implement fail-safes like software escrow agreements.
Let's talk about software escrow because it is absolutely vital here. It isn't just some compliance checkbox. It's a three-way contract ensuring that if your SaaS provider gets sanctioned, cut off, or just goes bust, you legally possess the keys to the source code to rebuild and keep your business running. This is exactly the kind of operational certainty that investors and insurers need to see to properly manage their risk.
Europe's deep reliance on non-EU tech is a profound strategic vulnerability. Embracing strategic exit plans and demanding operational certainty is really the only way to protect long-term economic advantages. Without it, you risk becoming what some analysts warn is essentially a digital colony. I want to leave you with this final thought today. Take a hard look at your contracts, your vendors, and your true operational independence. Ask yourself, if your entire infrastructure can be shut down by a foreign order, who really controls your company's future? In today's volatile landscape, true resilience means taking that control back. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.